Hello! It's been a while. I think the biggest thing for today and for the next 3 months is Venus is retrograde in Capricorn. This is offering us an opportunity that is very rare. Usually Venus takes about 2-3 weeks to be in a particular energy. We're going to be experiencing it for 16 weeks. So what does this mean? It means a couple of things. It means that when it comes to relationships, um, it's whenever an astronomical body goes retrograde, we're slowing things down. We're becoming more introspective. Things from the past are coming into the present. So this is a really beautiful time to be able to be around people that you haven't been able to be around. I get to be around my family with this Christmas season in ways that I've realized haven't occurred for 3 years, and so that's really beautiful. That's really special. That's the best part, and it's one of the best parts of the Venus retrograde transit that we're experiencing right now, and for all of January, and even for the shadow period, all of February. But I think for the holiday season, this is a major thing. Now, the more challenging side of that is potentially seeing people from our past or hearing from people, etc., having to interact with people that maybe aren't in our best interest. I think that's something that's a major theme with Venus retrograde, is figuring out what are our values, what do we need to change, how do we need to grow, how do we need to be different. So listen to your feelings. If you're being with somebody, whether it's a romantic partner, an old business colleague, an old friend, old family member you haven't seen in a long time, whatever it might be, listen to how you feel and stay true to how you feel, because sometimes with Venus retrograde we can associate with people from the past that really we were meant to let go of and move forward and send best of good energies and love and consciousness to those individuals, but ultimately to move forward. So that's really good to keep in mind. Especially, I think there is a major focus on two different aspects here, is old lovers, because Venus retrograde, and also old business partners or people that used to work with Venus in Capricorn. So it's good to be mindful. There can be beautiful progress with people from the past, even if it is meant to be wrapped up in a bow and resolved and moved forward from over the next couple of weeks, over the next month and a half or so. So it's good to stay open, but it's good to be mindful of these things, just to make sure we don't fall into old patterns. I think that one other thing that's really good to keep in mind, especially with, anytime something goes retrograde, it's kind of a jolt, because essentially that astronomical body in relation to us, with our orbits and their orbits, they're misaligned at that point. We're all always going around the sun, no matter what astronomical body it is, in the same direction. But when it goes retrograde, it kind of is out of sorts. So it's good to take, especially for today and for the next couple of days, to kind of ease into this. And it's good to be mindful for this for the next month and a half or so, is to be kind, to not become stingy. I think especially with Venus Capricorn retrograde, there's kind of a Scrooge element to this, which is kind of appropriate considering the holidays. So we want to stay open, even if it's like, oh, I have to be around that family member, or I don't know, what I mean, like, even if you're experiencing something like that, be open, be kind. I think something that's helping here is we're about to experience the winter solstice. So sun's going into Capricorn in less than a day, Mercury's in Cap. For the next several weeks, we're experiencing a lot of this Cap. Well, and for the next month, we're experiencing Sun and Cap. So we have these Cap energies that are helping a lot. I think one last thing about that is with Mercury and Venus conjunct, even where they are right now, it's on a tight conjunction. It'll get tighter over the next couple of weeks. But communicate how you feel, and also communicate within your own mind. Think about these things. I think that's going to be really helpful for figuring out this Venus retrograde season. And it's just good to take your time. It's good to take your time. It's not to say that a new relationship couldn't start under this transit. It's a time to really be mindful, because even if a wonderful opportunity comes along, we're still sorting out a lot of the stuff from our past, other relationships going on in our lives that need work. Oh, one last thing. I think that's a key thing. We'll talk about this continuously as time goes on, but a key thing here is wherever Venus and Capricorn is in your chart, it's really important to focus on that, to look at that particular house. And in general, for all of us, this is a time period of really focusing on professional resources. So even in our personal life, streamlining, making sure that we're creating a good structure to be around the people that we need to be around, and to not be around people that aren't necessarily good for us or whatever it might be. So it's good to navigate these waters bit by bit. You don't want to rush, especially with Mars and Sagittarius. We don't want to rush any conclusions. We don't. It's going to be a lot more subtle. In some ways, for a lot of people, it'll be a lot more subtle than just like, okay, that's it, that's done, moving forward. Obviously, for some people, that'll be the case. But I think it's good to be mindful of not letting that kind of Venus in retrograde energy get the best of us. And then we make some kind of we say something suddenly or we do something suddenly that we're actually not quite sure of. That's the thing about Venus retrograde or any retrograde. We have to navigate it the entire way through. We can't just, we can, but it's not wise to just make a split decision that we're really not sure about. So it's good to keep that in mind. And if you're sure and everything's, again, whatever the circumstances might be, it's all good. Starting a new relationship or whatever it might be. But step by step, that's the key. I think last but not least, Moon is in Cancer for the next about 15 hours or so. So that's lovely to spend time at home, to be in connection with our emotions, especially in relation to females in our life, especially from family. That's a key theme for the next about 15 hours or so. And I think that's all for today. As always, I'm doing readings, info in the About section. Infinite love to you, my friends. Namaste. Peace.